Good evening, everyone from Mumbai, and I hope that you all are doing well. Today, we will be talking about homeopathic approach and strategies and some schemas and some cases in the current COVID pandemic. And what is the homeopathic approach in it? These current COVID cases that I'm seeing in India and in some parts of Europe, the US, and Brazil are much milder in version. Um, the symptoms are much more milder. Many of them are are doing very well on homeopathic treatment, and in many cases we are able to avoid hospital admission as well. I'm going to give you a different clinical ideas today, and hopefully by the end of today's talk you'll get a very good idea about how to treat these kind of cases. In last 1 month we have been treating hundreds of cases. We've built a kind of a clinical team here in Mumbai, in my clinic, where uh, the clinical team who works under me, we kind of take the cases. There are acute case forms also given to some cases, who fill up the case forms, which I will also show to you. And then we do a kind of a video call or audio call or a Skype consultation, and then we suggest the remedy and we follow. In these cases, the main thing is follow. You have to follow up at a daily level. So we are talking about homeopathic strategies in the current COVID pandemic, the current kind of cycle 2022. What I'm going to share with you are strictly some of clinical observation that we have seen. It may be slightly different to many other homeopaths, because you have to understand the objectivity of a different homeopath may be different. But what I'm showing you is after seeing many cases and developing an opinion based on that. Generally, the present situation that we are seeing in COVID is few different presentations we are seeing. In some cases, we are seeing only fever or chills. In some cases, we are seeing cough, typically either dry cough or loose cough. In some cases, we are seeing throat pains, hoarseness, loss of voice. In some cases, we are seeing very bad sneezing, coryza, chronic coryza developing into. And in some cases, there is a very kind of an interesting presentation of extreme exhaustion. So this is the entire kind of different presentation. I'm going to show you different cases in different presentations. In some cases, you might see all of this together as well. In some cases, you might have to prescribe one remedy. In some cases, you might have to prescribe different remedies depending on which states comes first. What is the approach in these cases that I have developed? Let me show you. And there are different approaches which I want to share with you. The first approach, and this is the most important approach, is to study the PQRS of the current state, which means to find the peculiarities in the current state. Which means, suppose patient tells you that, doctor, I get chills beginning from my back. Then you start from there, chills beginning from back. Doctor, when I get fever, I feel better after talking to someone. So you start chills beginning from back, conversation ameliorate, like this. So you start taking the current peculiar symptoms, depending on where the patient kind of tells you the symptom. So one of the first questions for me to ask the patient is, how did it start? What is the current symptoms? What are your modalities? What are the concomitant? And what is the most intense symptom at this time? This is the first approach, finding PQRS. The second approach, and this is a very important approach, and this is an approach that I have to use now more and more, especially in the last few days, is especially cases which you are giving aconite, bryonia, arsenicosum, Nakswamika, and they are not being helped. Okay, in 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, they are not improving, which means that these are very superficial for them. That their acute state is actually superimposed on their chronic state. In these type of cases, you will need to prescribe a deeper remedy. You then have to kind of understand that this is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful situation for you to understand. The acute could be an opportunity to understand the chronic state in this type of case. And I did a few cases like this in France, where also I treated a few cases. In these type of cases, you have to understand the generalities. You have to understand the concomitants. And you also have to understand the mental state. And you have to find a deeper remedy based on their deeper state, deeper constitution. This is the approach. I'm going very step by step, very, very step by step, so that at the end of today's talk, and we have close to about 700 homeopaths who have joined our advanced course, and then many few, we have a total of 1,000 seats. So there would be about 1,000 homeopathic doctors watching this across the globe. We have homeopaths across the globe in this course. I believe at the end of the talk, many of you who may already be treating these cases will have more confidence, and you'll be able to treat even cases which are difficult. That is going to be a really, really, really special thing. So I told you about approach 1, approach 2, approach 3. Approach 3 is also very common, and you have to understand that in today's time, in this current pandemic, there are many vague symptoms. In some cases, you will see very, very vague symptoms, not clear symptoms. A little throat pain, a little weakness, a little not so clear symptom, a little body ache. I don't feel good. I feel not so good. What to do in these cases? In these type of cases, and I will talk about this to you specifically with cases, I'm often using a nosode like streptococcinum, a nosode like pyrogenium, a nosode like influenzinum. One dose followed by the indicated remedy, whichever the remedy is indicated, or maybe even the indicated remedy is not required after that nosode. This is a possibility. But in vague symptoms, in some of the cases, I found or kind of able to identify, in some cases, streptococcinum 1M as one of the remedies. Recently, I've also, in some cases, I've been able to kind of indicate or kind of find influenzinum in few cases. I will talk to you about it in the last part of the talk as well. And the last approach is what we call, and Master Henneman also spoke about, as the zigzag method. Especially, you will see this zigzag method, where the symptoms are ever changing, which means the patient will come up with one symptom. He will say, I'm getting fever, chills. And you are able to prescribe for fever, chills, and he does very well on homeopathy with fever, chills. And then the other symptoms start. The patient may get cough. And then you prescribe for the cough. Then the cough goes away, then other symptom comes in. Then you give another remedy. So there is like a zigzag method that may be required. Multiple remedies are required at different points. So these are the different approaches that I want to talk to you. So namaste from Mumbai. I am Dr. Gaurang, based in Mumbai. So we have just recently started the course on classical homeopathy. This is a 7-month course. It's a weekend online course, one of its kind, with close to about 20 global homeopaths teaching so much in depth about organon, materia medica, repertory, that I would want to invite every single homeopath there for this course. You can join anytime. It would be 120 hours. It would be only weekends. And the recordings would be available for 1 year. So you will get to see the videos again and again close to 1 year. So that would be a major advantage for any homeopathic student who is either studying homeopathy in college or an intern or a practitioner. There is something for everyone.
Once you join the course, you also become part of one of the WhatsApp groups, one of the top WhatsApp homeopathic groups, or a top group that we have curated, where we'll be putting up a case every week and you will be solving cases. So this solving cases helps a lot. Now almost close to 50 cases we have put gradually. We are going to be putting, and you can solve it. That's a very special thing that you could do. Not just about organon, materia medica and repertory, we'll also talk so much about different approaches. You're treating cases of acutes, how we can treat cases of currently acute COVID, how we are using remedies like streptococcinum, pyrogenium, influenzinum in today's acutes, how we are using the remedy China, for example. Today I saw a case, chills begin from back. One of the top remedies, Eupatorium perfoliatum. So these kind of very important kind of clinical indication. We will also talk about other approaches, how to treat hormonal cases. Here in my clinic in Mumbai, you can see this is my clinic. We are treating many PCOD cases, thyroid cases, endometriosis cases. What is the approach? How I use sarcodes, how I use nosodes, how to use organ specific remedies, how to use backflower remedies, how to use star of betel, how to use biochemics in today's time with cough and cold, little dullness, malaise, whitish discoloration of discharge, tongue white, calimuriaticum 6x, how we are using it. So there are so many different approaches we are going to be talking, and that is why with open arms I want to invite every single one of you. You can join, be a part of us. There are close to 650 doctors who have already joined, and we have a limit of 900 seats for now. So you can write to us, write to me. There will be an entire email ID with all the details of the course below. You can write gaurang@gmail.com, and it would be so good to study with you. Namaste.